Hi Flosstube, it is Helen D. I'm going to have what I'm assuming will be a very short tutorial for you today because we're making these sled ornaments. They are one of the easiest finishes to do. No sewing, cutting and gluing. Not even gluing, cutting and taping. You can glue, I tape. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to kind of start the cutting and then talk to you about the sleds and stuff as we go. So the ones that I did were by Foxwood Crossings. These sleds are actually made by Foxwood Crossings, so they've designed their designs perfectly to fit. This is the mini sled. And the only other thing before we go, you can buy perforated paper, which is what these are stitched on. It's by Mill Hill, and it comes in this big sheet. It's 2 sheets in a pack, and they're like 9 by 12. So you could make a whole lot of sleds out of that. I want to get that out of our way. I have a piece of paper here because when I start taping, sometimes I get little bits on me and then I can just wipe them off. So to start with, you stitch your design. It recommends stitching your design with 3 strands of floss, and that's what I use, and I've done them before with just 2, and it is a little thin. This is a 14 count perforated paper, but you know, it hasn't shrunk like a fabric, so the 3 strands really makes it nice and plump. When I'm stitching them, I try, you can see I missed one here, I try to put all my ends when I'm ending a thread toward the inside of the sled, so that way I don't have any of these bits that are hanging off. So I check those and see what I need to kind of trim up. So to cut the sled out, use a really sharp pair of scissors, whatever kind you like, but something that can get into really small spaces. Some people like to use an X-Acto knife. I have these snips that I've had so long they don't even close because they're long since broken. So that's what I use. So you need to cut this out. I don't know if that's going to help or not. When you stitch, there's the hole that you stitched in, and then we're cutting just to the next hole so that there won't be any holes showing. What's showing is just like one little line of the paper. And I try and get mine as smooth as possible so there's none of the little bumps. So when I cut mine out, I typically start on the long side, and then I'll go in and get the fiddly bits. So, trying to see where you can see. So I'm going to go 1 over, right up against, and kind of just cut this out. And I'm going to do that on all 4 sides, and then I'll go in and get some of the small bits. These little things are going to fly everywhere. There was one in my coffee earlier, so heads up for that. So the sleds, like I said, are Foxwood Crossings. They come in different sizes, and I know Foxwood Crossing has charts that will fit on, there's like a medium and even a large. I've only ever done the minis. Most needlework shops, I don't know if they all carry them, but they should all have access to them. I think they're put out by Yarn Tree, possibly. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of go in and chip away kind of 1 row at a time, getting rid of some of this extra. The sleds usually average about $5, but this time of year when it's getting close to Christmas, I would check when you're in the stores, you might be able to find a sled that's almost the same size as a Christmas ornament, or I thought someone said she found some in the dollar spot at Target. So you might be able to find a sled that will work if you can't find the official sled. And also these tags could go on other things, right? It doesn't have to be on a sled. You could find a different kind of ornament that looks about the same size. I'll show you something I bought here when we're done. Yep, that one hit me in the glasses. So again, I'm just cutting these out, trying not to go too far because I don't want my stitches to come loose. This is the same way I've done the Satsuma Street perforated paper ornaments too. I just kind of chip away. So when we tape this, I like to use Stitchery Tape, which is a double-sided acid-free tape. That is also something put out by Yarn Tree that your local store should be able to get. If you don't have a local store, a lot of the online shops have them. 123 carries it. I've bought it from Amazon before. I think Lori Holt now makes a brand of it. I haven't tried hers just because one roll of this is going to last you a while, so I haven't had any need. But it's an acid-free double-sided tape. And it was a little on the pricey side, but it's a big roll, and you're going to get a lot of use out of it. And then what I found is once I have it, I use it for other things. So I use it for some other finishing too. Okay, so I'm just going to check if there's some that are kind of like still a little bumpy. I can go in and just shape those up a little. I had a couple that were a little bumpy on that side. And that's that. So now it is all cut out. The next step is to put on the tape. So I typically put the tape right on here and then trim the tape. Now, my hint for the tape, don't use your good scissors. This stuff is sticky. So get your trash scissors, move all your bits out of the way. I like to just take my tape, open up a piece. It has a coating on one side, and I'll stick this right on there. If I can, I'll line it up on one side. If I can't, if I can't get it just right, I don't worry about it. It's very forgiving. It's clear. So it's right on my tape. Then I take my trash scissors and I go in and I'm going to just cut it right off. Right? So then I just trim it up. I'm going to kind of go right to the edge, if not even a little under it. Trim that. That's why I got my paper over here. And then for the corners, you don't have to get it perfect on all these little bits. Just kind of tuck it right under the lip a little and angle it off. So it will kind of look like that on the back. And I'll do that with all four sides. It does kill me that this stuff always wants to come off on the scissors, but then when you're trying to pull the back off, it's like not easy to do. This one I think I need it a little bit tighter. See, it's stuck to me. There. So there's the back. It's just kind of angled. So now I'm going to kind of push it on there good in hopes that it will help me get the backing paper off, because sometimes this is the hardest part, to find a corner that's going to play nice. Sometimes I use one nail to kind of pinch. There we go. I pinched the actual sticky part back, and then I can pull it off. So as you see, it's super clear. Now you just eyeball it. So I've got my sled. I'm going to kind of hold it by the sides. Once I kind of have it on there where I want it, I'm just going to push it on. And it's good to go. So you could put, if I had put this like down on the edge, I might have had enough room up top if I wanted to put like a bow or something. I've done them before where I'll tie a piece of ribbon on the side and hang a charm. You could just write the year on the back. So, done. I did these from my son's teachers. I had done them a few years ago, and they were super easy because the perforated paper, I only stitched this small. I cut a piece, stitch it. I don't stitch on that whole big piece, so I can hold it in my hand, and it's pretty good. So here's your sleigh. The other thing I wanted to show you, like I said, if you can find something this time of year that might be about the same size, I found this box of wood tags at Michael's this season. It was $10, but I had a coupon. So I have these wood tags. They're unfinished, so I'll have to paint them. This, you can kind of see, this would be a little small. I mean, it might be fine. It might be the look you're going for. I would think it would be a little bit small. But that doesn't mean I only have to put this on. So the other day, I bought the new Snowball Brenda Gervais, and it has these little guys, and she has them on here all as a pillow, but when I did the math, one of them is going to be perfect on these little tags. So I'm thinking I will stitch these, they're full coverage, on the perforated paper, stick it right on. I could stick them on fabric and mount it, but then I'd have to, like, you know, fold it under or lace or do different things. The perforated paper is going to be easy peasy, so I can just stick it right on there. And I think I'll do like a set of 3 and do all of them. So just some other ideas when you're thinking about what else you could kind of do with these. So there's my sleds. I hope that was helpful. I know a lot of people have made these before. This is absolutely nothing new. But I thought if you've never seen how easy it is, you might not really realize that this could not be easier. So I hope it was helpful. Bye.